If we share a story with someone about a hurt or an upset that we've experienced, then we're likely in the main to receive sympathy from our listeners and the affirmation that we're right to feel angry about it. That may make us feel supported, but it doesn't actually help us resolve the feelings that we experience. That there's nothing wrong with being angry, it's what we do with the anger that counts. The mindset of our culture gives us permission to cling to our resentment, to broken relationships and unresolved conflicts. Someone hurts us and we want to hang on to that hurt. We've got them. We know what they're like and we aren't going to let go of that. We might think that we've got them, but in reality, they've got us. Whatever hurt they caused us, we're giving them ongoing power over our lives because we're holding so tightly to what they did. When we hold on to past hurts and disappointments, the only person we're really hurting is ourselves. We find that our emotional mugs are constantly overflowing at the slightest problem, and we hurt ourselves and the people around us. Hurting people hurt other people. And of course, that has an impact on other people's emotional mugs, and this chain reaction of hurt and anger and resentment, bitterness, etc. grows and grows. In fact, if the person that hurt us did it intentionally, then it's probably because their emotional mug is full due to the hurt and unresolved anger in their lives. Now, that does not excuse their behaviour, but it can at least help to explain it. How then do we break this chain reaction of hurting people, hurting people, hurting people? The only way to break the cycle is to forgive. In the Bible, the Greek word that's translated as forgive is aphiame. Aphiame literally means to let go. Contrary to what our culture might say, if we really want to be free of past hurts, then rather than hanging on to anger and resentment, we need to let it go. Katharina Steiner writes, when we are hurt, we form a bond with the offender and the offence, and forgiveness is the process of cutting the link created by harm, setting us free. Max Lucado writes that forgiveness is unlocking the door to set someone free and realising that you were the prisoner. In the short video to the right of this one on the website, Nadia Bolz-Weber gives us another perspective on that reinforces the very point that the only way out of this chain reaction of overflowing emotional mugs is to forgive. If we don't, then we're just adding to the problem. And as we forgive, as we let go of past hurts, then it drains our emotional mug, or to put it another way, it strengthens our emotional well-being. We won't immediately stop feeling angry about what's happened, but each time we find anger over a past hurt resurfacing, we can forgive again and rob it of its power. You'll know in time if you've fully forgiven something when you can remember the hurt, but you don't feel the anger. But if we forgive people, then what about justice? In my experience, forgiveness can pave the way to justice. In my previous church, there was a young woman who had various mental health problems. She confided in one of the leadership team that she'd been abused as a young teenager. Even though she was now an adult, she was still afraid of her abuser and could not face having him prosecuted. The church got professional counselling for her, and she was helped over time to forgive her abuser. As her emotional mug drained, she lost her fear of him and eventually felt that she could face him in court. He was tried, convicted, and locked up. Forgiveness paved the way to justice. Forgiveness is for our sake, but justice may be needed for the sake of the person who hurt us and for the sake of other people to prevent that person hurting others. In contrast, unforgiveness keeps our emotional mug full and tends to fuel the desire for revenge rather than justice. They've hurt us, so we want to hurt back. And so the cycle continues. Nelson Mandela said, resentment is like drinking poison and then hoping it will kill your enemies. He said, forgiveness liberates the soul. It removes fear. That's why it's such a powerful weapon. So the way to break free of past hurts, the way to break the endless cycle of hurt people hurting more people, is through forgiveness, through letting go of those hurts. But how in practice do we do that? How do we forgive the people who've hurt us? Well, we'll look at that tomorrow. I hope you can join us.